I have to put parentheses. I have to surround this with parentheses, with its own parentheses. I have to surround it. Okay? And that's what how the calculator says, oh, you want to do that first, it says, oh, that's the numerator, and so therefore after the division should be the denominator. And that's what we have to do. So that parentheses right there. So now I correct the rest of it that's in the numerator. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 16 plus, and notice that we have another parentheses right there. So now this parentheses here, I'm going to put the parentheses at, and you get that parentheses. But once again, we have another dilemma. We have another fraction here that has operations. So in here, in this region right here, we have to have another set of parentheses. We have to. Because once again, if there's any type of operation in the numerator or denominator, we have to group it in parentheses. So I have to put that parentheses right here as well. So now I'm gonna write what's in this numerator, which is gonna be the 43 minus the 40. So now that I'm done with this numerator here, I could close it with the corresponding parentheses. Now I could go to the division on the denominator. So we're going to be pressing the division button right here. And now I could just type, because there's no operation here and where the 10 is, so no operation is just a number. So I could just put 10 and have nothing to worry about. So now I could go back over here and get this next parentheses that's separating that fraction from that 4. So I could now build that parentheses to close off this whole parentheses. This one green region is just doing this part, while this purple is only doing that numerator. So now I have this 4 here, so you could multiply it in the way it is, or I just usually say, well, nothing's happening, it's just multiplication, so I just put times. Okay, but if it's operation happening here, it'll be times with parentheses, it's just a number. So I hit the multiplication button, that goes right here, then it'll be 4. Next, now I'm done with that, right? So that means I'm done with this big numerator here, which I have in orange, if you notice. So therefore, I will be closing off that numerator now, because I have finished off the numerator. Now we go on into division with the denominator. No, so the denominator, so I have to worry about the parentheses for the denominator. So I can just go ahead and put in the next division operation and write in 24. So now that's pretty much the end of this fraction. So I got to close it off with the next grouping symbol, because that's what says this is all in parentheses. So therefore, I write into that next grouping symbol, or the parentheses. So all this right here is going to this parentheses. So at the end, it says multiplication of a number, so I have to work with the parentheses. So I can just put times with the multiplication operation times 100. Then I go ahead and press enter. Or equals, wherever button you guys have. Okay. And that's pretty much what you have to do. It is much more longer, and it requires us putting in parentheses where it belongs. Once again, I repeat. If there is some type of operation, addition, multiplication, division, or subtraction, any of those operations, you have to put parentheses to surround it in the numerator and the denominator. Because we'll assume that it's not the operations that you want in the order that you want. Okay? Just go ahead and put that in here so I could prove that my setup is correct. So I'm clear it, and now I'm going to start. So first thing is parentheses, followed by another parentheses. Then I'm putting 16 plus I have another 2 sets of parentheses. Then I have 43 minus 40, close one parenthesis off, divided by 10, close the next parenthesis off, times 4, close another parenthesis off, divided by 20, close off the last parentheses for the whole parentheses group, and times it by 100. Okay, so notice how we see arrow 2 saying that, hey, you have more expressions over here. You go over to the front and say, hey, did I mess up anywhere? So you go all the way to the front, so, oh, I got the 2 parentheses, nice. I got the 16x plus, that's what it's supposed to be. 2 more parentheses, nice. Then I see the 43 minus, and it should be 40, nice. Close up the parentheses, I see that there, that's good. Then it should be divided by 10, I see that happening. Close the parentheses, good. Times 4, that's nice. Closing the parentheses, looking good. Divided by 20, ooh, there's an error. I put 20 instead of 24. So it's a good thing I'm double checking. It's always good to double check. Okay, 24, nice, now that's good. On top, close the parentheses, perfect, times 100. Nice, we're good. So now when I enter this, I am ending up with the exact same thing. Percentile ranking, right there. So that's what's really happening here within this one here. So the formula is going to be key, and depending on what calculator you have, either you'll be setting up this expression, or you're going to have to set up this whole long expression in your calculator, and it will promise to refer. So when you're doing it in my exam, doesn't mean put in a calculator and just give me an answer. You got to show me this expression, and then you put it into your calculator, however it is, and give me the result. Okay. That's what I'm expecting, especially in the set of problems I have. Okay, let's switch over to the next example. Well, it's the same type of problem, but it's curved off. This very could probably be a practice, but I already have it under practice for you guys. So let's just try this again. Let's look at it again. Because once again, this is the more confusing one because what? It's not making sense. But it's ungrouped. How are we doing this? Or it's grouped. Okay. Once again, this process only works for grouped. Wow. Any type of table, distribution table, or graph. Okay? Yeah, it comes from measures. Anyways, here we go. So what we're saying now here, I put 43. That's not the same one. I could show the same one. I guess I never changed it. So come over here. Instead of putting 43, the one I wanted it to have in was supposed to be 52. I guess when I duplicated it, I forgot to change it. I didn't need the copy one because it didn't make sense. It was all messed up, the screen. Anyways, let's go ahead and have the fun here. So first thing first, well, we need to first understand where is 52 going, which interval is it going to? Well, if you look over here, 52 is definitely in this interval right here. That's what 52 is. So once again, we know our score is 52, that's good. So I can write here 52 for the score. And I can clearly take this spot that's right here, and I can write 52 right here. That's what's really happening. 52 is taking up that spot. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and find the lower limit. Well, we're in this region here, and here's our interval. So one thing we should definitely be seeing here is what's the real limit? I'm going to put R for short, real limit. Well, it's going to be its class's lower limit, or its interval lower limit, to the next interval's lower limit. So we're looking at 60. Those are the real limits that we're focusing on, and I want the real lower limit, which is this guy, the lower limit, 50. So I know 50 is the lower limit. Now that I know what the real limit is, I could definitely find the interval size by simply just finding the difference of the of the real limits. So we get the upper real limit, which is 60, minus the lower real limit, which is 50. Put all that in, and we're going to end up with 10, which is what we found before. I'm just purpose we're doing the work. So what's the corresponding frequency for this interval? Well, since it's in this region here, the corresponding frequency we're looking at happens to be 2. So 2 goes right here. Oh, I haven't been putting it into their spot. So now we're doing that right now too. Right here, it's supposed to be in the 50. We found out that this interval part, that's right here, is supposed to be 10. And so finally we have this frequency. right here, is supposed to be 2. And we're just going to find two more things, which is n and the coefficient, the coefficient of the scores below the interval we're focusing on. So we could definitely board it off and say, well, I boarded it, that's the interval I'm focusing on, so I'm looking at those below this guy. That's what I'm doing, I'm looking at those below. So this right here is going to be my community frequency below right here. So I'll put CF below. So we're looking at these guys right here. That's what we're doing. So when I do that, what I'm saying here, we're going to be pretty much adding 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3 together. So we're seeing pretty much 8 plus 8, which is 16, plus 4, which is going to become 24. Oh, I said it wrong. 20. And over here, if we add all the frequencies together, we should pretty much end up with 24 again. And that's pretty much just us doing 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3, which is going to be 24. And you put it in your calculator, or get that up in your head. But this came from the previous example anyway, so I didn't change the problem. So literally this one here is supposed to be the same, and this one could have been the same. We're not using different intervals. Or different, interval. But anyways, so we have this information, so we definitely know that this part right here was supposed to be 20, and we found out that our n is supposed to be 24 still. So all we need to do is put all this information into your calculator. That's all we need to do. So I'll put it to the fraction one first. We have fractions. This one is more easy to see than the TI 30. So come over here, we hit the fraction bar, so hit your fraction bar correspondingly. First turn on again, fraction bar. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. So what I'm gonna have here in the numerator, well first thing I'm gonna have parentheses, so go in front if you need to, adjust it, and go in front of it and put your parentheses. So now that's there, thank you for fixing it. Now, 20 plus the next parentheses of another fraction, which is supposed to be 52, minus 50. In the denominator, I'm seeing 10. I now compose of that fractions and multiply it times the corresponding frequency of the number, which is supposed to be 2. And now I could jump down to the denominator and type in 10. That was the interval size. And now I could go outside the fraction and type in parentheses. And I could type in times, that's a plus, times 100. So it's always important, just check the work again, check to see if all the signs are good, because I do myself with numbers and signs, but because I noticed since I press divide or plus when I'm pressing multiplication, just double check the work, no one's perfect, so make sure that you make sure everything's good the same time around. So everything appears to be good for me. So now I can go ahead and enter it in, and that is pretty interesting. Oh, I guess I didn't double check my work. Smart guy. I was just looking at the numerator, I never looked down. That's not supposed to be a 10. Why do I know that? Because there's no way in hell percentage could be greater than 100, first and foremost. Keep that in mind. Okay, our percentage should not be greater than 100. I'm not doing percent units, I'm doing regular percentages. So that's my bad. I'm gonna fix it. So how to fix it? Because this happened. I'm gonna go and, supposed to wait to enter it. Oh, there we go. So I already actually pressed up. Just press up to if you want to get back to your expression, just press back up, and then it should be showing that you're in the expression with the hashing that's here. So now let me go fix what I messed up on. This is not supposed to be 10, it was supposed to be 24. So delete, 24. Now let's put it right. There we go. 85% is what it's supposed to be. And it's exact, so okay, we don't have to round up. So what we're clearly getting at here is, at the end of the day, after we do all this nice work, we're pretty much saying, and I'll put it right here in this spot right here, okay, I run out of space. We're saying that pretty much 52 minutes is in the 85th percentile, or I guess I'm gonna write 52 is P sub 85. And we should understand what this means. Remember, this percentile only means that 85% of the scores, about 85% of the scores, is going to be below, or minutes times, it's going to be minute, it's going to be 52 minutes less than, okay, that messed up here. Let me repeat myself, okay. This 52, I would know that 85% of those who we observed drove less than 52 minutes. Okay? While the opposite of this, which we find just by subtracting 100 minus 85 to get to the percentage, which in this case here is pretty much going to just be 15%. Okay? So we know this is above. Okay? While this one here, once again, is below. So then I repeat myself again. 85% of those who drove have a driving time less than 52%, while about 15% of them have a driving time either the same or above 52 minutes. Okay, that's pretty much the whole interpretation. I just didn't write the whole thing out. I just wrote down the values that's supposed to be going to graph. Okay, so pretty much the same thing happens for the calculator using the log expression, but that comes down to you how you want to set up and do it. Okay. So I guess I'll do it for you guys just one last time. But it's not the one. Here we go. Give you guys one last time. To compete it now. So on. I can press down or clear. Oh, just clear it. So now, once again, what's your expression be looking like? I'll write it quick, and I'll just have you clear the calculator after that. Okay? I'm not gonna spend any time doing it. I'll just write it for you, and you write it yourself, and it'll be the same answer. So here we go. The building block. Okay, so green, yellow, purple we need, and then here's some blue. So first thing first, parentheses, that is included. So I'm gonna have parentheses. Now I have to group up the numerator. So therefore, I'm gonna have the parentheses right here, and I'm gonna be having 20 go right here, plus, and now I have to introduce this new parenthesis right here. However, I have to worry about the numerator. So I have to purple. I have to put another parenthesis right here. Now I can put the operation in the numerator, which is supposed to be the 52 minus the 50. Now I can close off the numerator parentheses, because that's all the numerators. Now I can do the division operation for the fraction. Division of the interval, the size was supposed to be 10. Now I can finish off that parentheses, so I'm going to put the green there. And I can now multiply the frequency, which is going to be times multiplication there, times the 2. And now I could close off the numerator parentheses, the bigger numerator parentheses with the orange, with the next parentheses. And now I could get the division of the denominator of n. So divide and up to 24 there. And now I could close off the original the original big parentheses. And then times by 100. So that's the expression you're going to use to multiply all this. Okay? That's pretty much your guys' task to do, not me. Okay? I showed you how the expression looks. You guys got to practice and get that in yourself. Okay? And so either way, you should be able to get the same result that's right here. The same as this result. Okay. So with that said and done, I'm not going to show the other one, but it turns out that most people still use this formula for ungrouped data. And all we're looking at is just the row limits. Even though we know that, hey, the ungrouped data is given back to original data, so we could treat it like regular data. Just that some individuals don't really teach the word origin, where it really comes from, and they jump right into it. So they have no background to how percentile is really working. But now you have the background to how it works and the process, the traditional process that it does. So that's all we're pretty much saying over here, is that for the non-group data, like we did earlier, okay, we can still answer the same questions that we asked before, but we can't use the formula. But by using the root limits that are halfway between each of these scores that I showed you before in regards to graphing the histogram. Okay? That's where we said the root limits could play an important factor either way. And then you could go ahead and try the one before, okay, the example before, and see if that's true. I had us doing 18, but you can look at 21 as well, because we did 21 consistently, and we'll see that the answer per bit will come to be either the same or very close to the same after rounding. Okay? And that's something you can do on your own, and it's right here. So 21, so when we're going to go for 21 was supposed to be 83%. So at the end of the day, we should be getting that our percentile rank, or K percentile, should end up being 83. Okay? The K percentile. Okay? So make sure and it should be the same, so you could try it out yourself if you want, and just use the version before and just find the 45 row limits that's supposed to go right here, and that's pretty much all you're really doing. Okay, so out for row limits. So that's pretty much it. The next thing you see there is just a side practice, but you kind of get them right here, the number limits, but it's just a side practice of going back to what we did before, and you're just pretty much finding the percentile rank for a particular value of 35 minutes, for measurement 35 minutes, using the data that sorted, so gain actual data, how you do it, okay? And so what this is not provided to us, and we don't know the answer, and we don't have that information, but we end up having either the histogram or the distribution table, okay? These guys both function the same way. I know it's working here this whole time, but you could do the same work here. So keep that in mind. You can do the same work in both of these guys, because they both are one and the same. They both describe each other, okay? And look at this guy here and use the formula to answer the question, because once again, it's group data. So you have to use the formula for group data no matter what. It's an ungrouped data where you have a choice. Okay? So that's pretty much it for this, and you can go ahead and get the practice in. Okay. Thank you, and enjoy percentile ranking.